New York financier Jeffrey Epstein was a couple of years ago imprisoned on charges of exploiting some children in a really disgusting way. I can't really get into it in the first 2 minutes of this episode, and that 2 minutes is not up right now. He hung a picture in his jail cell, essentially, is what the government told us at the time. If you don't remember, they said that the cameras in the facility where he was being held at the time just didn't work. They just didn't work at the time. They were dead. They were gone. The guards who were supposed to be watching Jeffrey, especially because he was on suicide watch, fell asleep. I guess, I don't know, you couldn't like create a more perfect scenario and just as a joke, like the guy who had ties to most of the governments in the world, ties to very rich, powerful people, Bill Gates, every single president, essentially. Of course, the guards would fall asleep, the cameras wouldn't work, and he would mysteriously die in his cell. Now, just so many other factors led to us pretty much not believing that, because that's fucking retarded. He actually had an island called Little St. Clair, I believe, or Little St. James or something, where there was a mysterious temple on it. And after his death, a lot of people tried to fly drones over it and shit. And just a lot of weird stuff surrounding his death and his life in general. During Trump's campaign for the 2025 election,
he can't hit a ball 50 yards. I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. But I have,
he was going to be releasing the JFK files, the MLK files, and the more highly requested Epstein files.
The 9/11 files.
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would.
Not going to get political. I don't care. I'm just giving you the facts of what he ran on and what his campaign promised. After that, people were waiting for the Jeffrey Epstein list, which people like Kash Patel,
Dan Bongino,
constantly before actually working in the administration and working in the government, said, yes, like there are the Jeffrey Epstein files. People are implicated. Even Donald Trump himself were saying that there were many people, implicated on this shit. I mean, there's compilations of them talking about this constantly.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. That island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew.
A lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected paths with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it. Don't trust anyone, me included. We don't bring receipts. Throw it out the window.
We're not going to be lied to anymore. We're going to have the wool pull over our eyes. We'll finally see the truth. That's what a lot of people thought. As of recently, Pam Bondi, the attorney general, she said that on TV when asked about the Jeffrey Epstein client list, that it was on her desk and that there were videos of Epstein with children and just general CSAM.
List of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
A lot of people are wondering, because you said last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk, is when can we see them and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick. There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah, what you're going to see hopefully tomorrow is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information.
And then Kash Patel, the FBI director, said on a Joe Rogan podcast of all things, he said that there were no videos actually. And if I had videos, wouldn't you think that I'd show them to you, Joe? I mean, come on.
There was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island, and I'm in charge. Don't you think you'd see it?
If you have access to it.
If I have it, period. Right. If I have it.
Right. If you have it.
Right.
But you can't say that you have it.
No, we're giving you everything we have.
So far.
I'm Kash Patel. Like cash, like money. Isn't that cool? Isn't that fun? Again, he says, we're giving you everything. There's no video. And then Joe asks if they've gone over the videos. And then he says, yes.
Have you guys gone over all the video that's available?
Yeah. That's what I'm telling you. That's what takes so much damn time.
So, I mean, is there a video or not? I mean, that's just kind of weird. But anyway, in a statement released about 9 days ago from the FBI, references a large amount of images and videos of Epstein with victims who appear to be minors or are minors. And that there were 1,000 victims of Jeffrey Epstein. But somehow, despite all this talk about all these people being implicated with him, there was no client list. It's literally like investigating a drug dealer. And then the investigation reveals that actually he wasn't dealing any drugs to anyone. He was just using them all himself. You think I'm fucking retarded? Elmo also commented on this. Thank you, Elmo. That is a real tweet, by the way. Technically not a real tweet from the Elmo account, but the Elmo Twitter account was hacked a while ago. Said some pretty wild shit, but that is one of the things they said. So it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
You know, people just paid him millions of dollars for no reason. All these rich, powerful people just showed up to his house just because he was that good at using H&R Block. Now, what's also interesting is that they said that the investigation didn't uncover any evidence that could be used for later implications of other people in these crimes. Jeffrey Epstein and his queen, Ghislaine Maxwell. Here's some photos of them. Very interesting. After Jeffrey died, she was arrested, or I believe they might have been arrested around the same time, obviously for helping him traffic all of these young girls. Because, and again, you're asking us to believe that it is all just for his victims, no one else, even though despite that, she's implied that Jeffrey Epstein had clients, I guess we'll call them, given to Donald Trump and I think also Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew's 100% innocent. I mean, look.
One of Epstein's accusers, Virginia Roberts, has made allegations against you. She says she met you in 2001. She says she dined with you, danced with you at Tramp nightclub in London. She went on to have sex with you in a house in Belgravia belonging to Ghislaine Maxwell, your friend. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have baths, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat.
She provided a photo of the two of you together.
Yes, because I have absolutely no memory of that photograph ever being taken. The photograph is taken upstairs, and I don't think I ever went upstairs. When the allegations came out originally, I went, well, that's a bit strange, I don't remember this. Do I regret the fact that he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming? Yes.
Unbecoming? He was a sex offender.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being polite.
He couldn't sweat, dude, and of course, what?
He was released in July. Within months, by December of 2010, you went to stay with him at his New York mansion. Why? Why were you staying with a convicted sex offender?
Right. Now, I went there with the sole purpose of saying to him that because he had been convicted, it was inappropriate for us to be seen together. I felt that doing it over the telephone was the chicken's way of doing it. I had to go and see him and talk to him.
It might seem a funny way to break off a friendship, a 4-day house party of sorts with a dinner.
The truth of it is that I actually only saw him for about, the dinner party, the walk in the park, and probably passing.
If you know that one of your homeboys is talking to minors, you'll probably still smoke with him once or twice and then tell him on that last smoke sesh that, hey dude, I can't hang out with you with all this stuff that's going on, I can't. And of course, why not? The government released the footage of what Kash Patel was saying that showed 100% that he did not kill himself. He didn't end his life. This footage would prove that no one entered the prison, no one entered his cell, which is also kind of interesting because they said that the cameras were dead. But anyway, they were saying after reviewing this footage, obviously once released to us, we will see that it's impossible for anyone to get in the cell and he just ended his life, right? Is that fucking Lex Luthor? Holy shit. Now, the video itself is 10 hours long and doesn't show Epstein's door, even though they made it seem like it did. It shows a common area where you can see the side of his door. I mean, you can't even see the door. It's just known with the map layout that would be his door where the camera is pointing at. It's essentially like me telling you, obviously I didn't come out of my room last night. Here's a video of my living room. Again, they said that the cameras didn't work, and it is true. The camera that was supposed to be down the hallway to where Epstein's door would be, where we could have a better view, somehow stopped working 10 days before he ended his life. Yeah, it's real mysterious. Apparently they were set for streaming and not recording. I don't know how a max security prison would not have daily measures to make sure that their security systems are functioning properly. I digress. I don't know. After everyone reviewed the footage, there was something pretty interesting. At 11:58 p.m., yeah, there's a cut from 11:58 to 12 a.m.
What was that? What did you put in there? What was it that it was in?
Here's the 10-hour unedited, undoctored footage, except for maybe that 1 minute where we didn't have any footage. But hey, I mean, what can someone do in a minute? It's not like, you could definitely walk in there and do something and walk out, right? Especially if the guards are sleeping. I digress. And the OIG said during their report, all the inmates were in their cells by 8 p.m. The FBI mentioned in their report, the DOJ and the FBI mentioned that he was locked in his cell at 10:40 p.m. So were they locked up at 8 or were they locked up at 10:40? At 10:38 p.m., if you look at the footage, on the stairs where it would go up to where Jeffrey's door was, or the hallway to where Jeffrey's door was, you can see a little orange line kind of just moving up. Now, who was in orange jumpsuits? The cast members of Orange and the New Black and Jeffrey Epstein and all the other fucking inmates in that prison. So clearly, someone was going up the stairs at 10:38 p.m. Who was that? Well, again, according to the FBI report, that would be none other than the New York financier, Jeffrey Epstein. Interesting that they never said that originally in the report. Pretty wild. They said that it was to take linen to a prisoner. After all this, everyone's kind of like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Like, just tell us what the fuck happened. It's just crazy. During a White House correspondence thing, they were having a meeting. I don't know what the fuck you call it, but Pam Bondi, Donald Trump, and
Marco Rubio
was in the White House, and a reporter asked Bondi about the footage because, you know, that's a whole minute that's just gone. As she's about to answer, Trump says, hold on, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. Are you seriously asking about Jeffrey Epstein? I mean, come on.
You say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the latest set?
Yeah, sure.
If I could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration.
Jeffrey Epstein? Why does everyone keep asking about it, dude? Let it go. Come on. What? He was a world-class pedophile with thousands of suspected clients. But why do you care? I mean, come on. What? Are you scared that your government might have some pedophiles in it? You're scared that the other world governments might have some pedophiles in it? I don't. Like what? Come on, dude. She does actually, after being allowed to speak, and the minute of missing footage was due to the security system in the prison every single night, according to her. That's just how the system works, not recording that minute. All the videos, she said, would have that minute missing if they investigated.
The video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Oh my God, dude, what? You're telling me that my Ring camera in my fucking living room has a better security feature than the security system in a max security prison for Jeffrey Epstein? Oh my God, dude, what the fuck? When they were asked what kind of security system they wanted in the prison, they said, let's do the one where it forgets to record a minute of footage. And the time that Jeffrey was actually successful in ending his life wasn't the first time he attempted to end his life. This was the second time. And the first time, we actually had footage of it, but magically, mysteriously, that footage disappeared. It's gone. We don't know where it went. I don't know. Whoa, the Jeffrey Epstein footage. Oh my God, whoa. She actually also did talk about the thousands of videos that she was talking about, and she said that it was just irrelevant CSAM, so those would never see the light of day.
Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day.
But again, you said that there were videos and pictures and evidence of Jeffrey Epstein with minors. Like that was something that was produced a couple days ago before all this. I understand, obviously, you guys can't release CSAM. You can't crop him out. You know, the phone's got like the erase tool now. You guys can't fucking use that. What the hell? You're telling me those thousands of videos and shit, none of them have anyone other than Jeffrey Epstein in it? Jeffrey Epstein set up a tripod every single time. Like, what are you talking about? It just doesn't make any sense. Now, Alex Acosta also said that Jeffrey Epstein belonged to intelligence. She also said that she has no idea about that. She has no idea about the CIA meetings or any of the intelligence meetings that he possibly could have had, or him belonging to intelligence. That's just...
To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that.
This wouldn't be an issue, right? Because again, the previous administration and administrations before this obviously knew about all of this. They knew this, and they failed to deliver. The only difference is it was blatantly obvious that they sucked because they never talked about it and they never released it. But this one administration decided to put its entire backbone as, hey, we're going to release this and we're going to be transparent with everybody. And then you didn't do that. So that's why I believe it's a lot more daring to do that, because they're telling you they're going to do something and they don't do it. At least the other ones just didn't. They just spat in your face and told you how it is and said, fuck you, I'm not going to do it. A victim of Epstein said that there were cameras and mics in the 40-room townhouse that Jeffrey Epstein owned in Manhattan.
Me where the men monitoring everything were. I looked on the cameras and I saw toilet, bed, toilet, bed. It was very obvious that they were like monitoring private.
Clearly, if we're going to go off what the government is saying, those were exclusively so Jeffrey Epstein could watch himself. With that Jeffrey Epstein footage, Wired came out with a piece that said it had metadata that showed it was pulled from 2 sources, saved multiple times, and then exported, and also edited with Premiere Pro. Again, remember that this was supposed to be the raw footage. They were just gonna rip the footage from the security cameras, but instead they've put it through 7 different fucking computers, edited it just a little bit, cut out a little bit, and then, gave it to us. But it is the raw footage, guys. I swear, I pinky promise, I swear to God. Also at 1:58 p.m., the aspect ratio of the video changes. And they also released an enhanced version, which, again, they released the raw version, which was supposed to just be a straight rip from the security footage. And they released an enhanced version so we could have better clarity to see, if we couldn't see anything in the raw version, which doesn't really make any sense. I mean, wouldn't we just be able to do that ourselves? I don't know. In the enhanced version, the aspect ratio also changes during the day change, which is weird. I don't really understand why. Now, Trump had a meltdown on Trump Social, his own little private Twitter, where, supporters of Trump, that's pretty much their social platform. If you support Trump, you kind of use that, I guess. I don't know. He went on there, and that's usually where he gives his little posts, because he used to do that on Twitter, but ever since he got banned, I think he kind of holds a grudge against Twitter, even if Elon owns it now. He posts on there, and that's where he gives the official statements to America, which is interesting. I love that that's just how we get our information from the president now. But anyway, I mean, he can do what he wants. I don't, except when it comes to this, though. This isn't going to take seriously. I'm being so dead serious right now. So on Truth Social, he says that the Dems wrote the Epstein files.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. That island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew.
And then now we're going to the files are real, but the Democrats created him. The Democrats. We're going to raise your taxes. You'll drive an electric car. George Soros or something. I don't know. I don't keep up with politics. I don't care. What's also interesting is Elon, a little while back when they had their little dispute, it was actually really sad. My favorite Yowie couple broke up temporarily, or maybe permanently. I don't know. I think they're permanently scarred. They don't sleep in the same bed anymore, at least. I know that for a fact. Elon, when he had his little meltdown on Twitter, I actually was going to make a video on that, but didn't end up getting to it. He said that Trump was in the Epstein files. That's why he didn't want to talk about them. And again, that could have just been in his little spurg meltdown, out of anger, something he didn't mean. He didn't mean to say that about him, and I totally get it. When you're in an argument with somebody that you love, you might say things that hurt them or that implicate them in serious world-class pedophile crimes. But anyway, he took that back, saying he went too far. Which is interesting, though, is that he didn't say that it was false. He just said that he took it too far. But there's a lot of people who are like, this is what I voted for, though. I voted for you to do this, and now you're not doing it. What the fuck is your problem? Why are you just lying like this? Why are you just flip-flopping? This is fucking crazy. He posted on Truth Social saying, what's going on with my boys, and in some cases, gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration. The talk of the world and selfish people are trying to hurt it all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, Crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration, who conned the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more. They created the Epstein files just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me. And now, my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? They haven't even given up on the John F. Kennedy or Martin Luther King Jr. files. No matter how much success we have had. After that, he got ratioed on his own platform, which is fucking crazy. I mean, I would assume everyone on that platform likes you, and everyone's like, no, what the fuck is your problem? Release the goddamn files. Also, this lady, again, I don't really know her credibility, so I'm not going to say this is true.
Collection of very high-powered people. How did they all interact with Epstein? How did Trump, Clinton, and Prince Andrew interact with him?
Everyone was very, very pally with him, It was like there was close bonds, you could see that.
Is that Prince Andrew, Donald Trump, and Bill Clinton were actually all, and obviously Epstein, were all at dinner together, and they seemed really chummy, and like they've known each other for a long time, despite all of them saying we've never actually touched. I don't even know who the person is. Who the fuck is Donald Trump? And also, despite this, there is audio of Epstein saying that he's known him for 10 years, and they're really good friends.
So how do you know this?
Trump also says that he doesn't know Prince Andrew.
I don't know Prince Andrew.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, there's pictures of you guys meeting all the time from like the early 2000s. I would find it hard to believe that you've never hung out with this guy at least one time, especially because you were a rich and powerful person. He's also a rich and powerful person. I feel like you guys would just kind of hang out together. But I don't know. Now, Trump says that he actually never lied about releasing the Epstein files because Fox News, a lot of people point to this, released this clip of him saying that, yes, that's something I'd look into. I would maybe do that. I would. I don't know. But they actually cut the clip. He actually immediately backtracks on that and says, actually, maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know.
The 9/11 files.
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others. Certainly about the way he died. It would be interesting to find out what happened there because that was a weird situation and the cameras didn't happen to be working, et cetera, et cetera.
Which is just an insane reasoning. I mean, I'm sorry. Most people who were involved with Epstein probably had upwards of millions and millions and millions of dollars. You couldn't go to any other, tax person. You could just go to H&R Block, right? I mean, fuck, you could just use H&R Block. But hey, what do I know? I'm sure there's a couple people who might have just used Jeffrey Epstein for genuinely what his job was, which was a financier, someone who handles money. I'm sure there's one or two people on that list of, I'm sure thousands of people of his clients list that genuinely just did that, and having their names out there would kind of ruin their reputation. Well, boo fucking who? I'm sorry. For the greater good of humanity, of people knowing that these world leaders and these rich, powerful people, including possibly Bill Gates and a whole bunch of other people, have been implicated or even have been surrounded by people who literally children. I'm sorry, but if one or two people go down in that who didn't really have anything to do with it, it's not really the worst thing in the world, is it? Can we be honest? That it's maybe not the worst thing in the world? I don't know. What's also really interesting is when the FBI raided Epstein's house a couple of years back, they found black binders with labels of people's names on them and CDs of pictures of them nude and non-nude. The FBI actually did release these pictures, but obviously the names were blacked out. And they said this was because they weren't relevant to the Ghislaine Maxwell case. You're telling me that the FBI has had this, right, for so long. They've had the names of the people on these black thick binders and they're not related to the case at all? What was on there? Was it just naked pictures? Like, let's go skinny dipping, guys. Let's go skinny dipping at Jeffrey's house. That's all it was, really? That's interesting. What's also really interesting is, again, though, you guys said that there were no third parties when you did the investigation. All the information was only relating to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. No one else, just those two. What about the black binders, though? No one wants to bring that up. It's really fucking irritating. Trump said, when asked most recently about this, said that it was actually it's boring. You don't want to look at it. It's stupid. I fall asleep. My eyes get sleepy. I look like Xi Jinping when I read these, okay? I get sleepy. I mean, what do you want me to do?
Pretty boring stuff. It's sorted, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say let them have it.
And standing right next to him, for some reason, is Jeffrey Epstein's fucking neighbor. And not only that, he's laughing when he says this.
I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But
your houses were touching.
About Epstein's Manhattan townhouse, saying that Howard Lutnick of Cantor Fitzgerald bought the adjacent smaller townhouse owned by Lex Wexner.
If you broke down a wall and just made a little door, you guys would pretty much be living in the same goddamn house. What the hell? Now, Trump says that really only bad people and fake news want to keep looking into it. That's what he said about it, which is, again, you're criticizing the people that want to look into the guy who had connections to the most powerful world leaders that was fucking kids. That's the issue. All right. I mean, that's fine. He says he will release them if they're credible, which I don't know how they're not credible. I mean, even if they're not, let us look into it as people. What the fuck? Like, you gave binders to all these influencers and everything. Jesus Christ, give me one. The House GOP blocked the force of the release in this. I believe the House representatives also did. This was kind of I don't really like this headline because it makes it look like, oh, dude, everyone's implicated on this. But the reason that it was voted no, there wasn't a vote that just said, should we release the Epstein files? Yes or no? Vote yes or no right now. It was the part of the Genius, the Genius thing, the Genius Act, which was some crypto thing, is some other thing. I don't care. But it was sandwiched in there. So, essentially it was literally made for, publication like this to where you could say that all these people voted no on this bill because they didn't want to release Jeffrey Epstein. But it's like, okay, but that wasn't the vote. It was, oh yeah, also we'll do that. But here's the main part of the bill with this crypto bullshit. Trump, again, like literally a couple hours ago, posted on Truth Social saying, the radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again, just like with the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier. The lying 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, which the Dems swore had come from Russia. No, it came from Hunter Biden's bathroom. And even the Russia scam itself, a totally fake and made up story used in order to hide crooked Clinton's big ass big loss in 2016 presidential election. These scams and hoaxes are all the Democrats are good at. It's all they have. They're no good at governing, no good at policy, and no good at picking winning candidates. Also, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue. Their new scam is that what they will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And my past supporters have brought onto this, quote, bullshit hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will. Even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years, I have had more success in 6 months than perhaps any president in our country's history. And all these people want to talk about with strong prodding by the fake news and the success-starved Dems is the Jeffrey and Epstein hoax. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success, because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. Like, I feel bad for any Trump supporter right now who is a normal person and wants the cabal of pedophiles that almost definitely exists to be shut down or at least exposed so we know who the fuck they are. But now they're just being left behind by Trump because, he doesn't want to talk about it for some reason. I don't know. And again, it's like, why, if the Democrats made up this lie, why wouldn't they have released it before you became president? You're telling me that they just left it in a Ziploc baggie for you on top of your desk just so you could open it and be forced to talk about it when you became president? That doesn't make any fucking sense. What are you talking about? I mean, you yourself talked about the island and everything. But I will admit, look, he had deals with Coke, okay? They're bringing back cane sugar and all their soda. I don't know. There's a lot of celebrities defending this for some fucking reason. One specifically, not really defending, but just talking about how crazy people are for wanting the Epstein list to be revealed. One of those people being Stephen King, of all people. I mean, if you don't know anything about Stephen King on social media, he's constantly shit-talked Trump for like ever since he became president in 2016. But for some reason, he decided to wake up and say that you guys are all crazy. What was I doing coke every time I wrote books? Like, what are you talking? I was doing coke for the past 30 years. What are you talking about?
Yeah, let me get 2 quick pics in there.
Darnell, that's you. Boy, look at you. Boy, looking like 1968.
You're the crazy ones. It's just as real as the Tooth Fairy and UFOs and shit. Also, the Trump administration or the government, I don't know, someone, fucking maybe Mossad, who knows, has been calling conservative content creators, telling them to stop talking about the Jeffrey Epstein case and the Jeffrey Epstein files. Charlie Kirk pretty much bended like a fucking folding lawn chair just to defend this and say that, I trust the government. You, out of all people, trust the government? Jesus fucking Christ, dude. The guy who looks like the fucking dude from Flapjack. He said he's done talking about it. Also, what's really interesting is, speaking of influencers, the vice president was just on Theo Von's podcast not too long ago saying that the release of the Epstein files is something that's very important.
Release the list.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
Why are we disagreeing with each other? What is going on? This is fucking insane. Also, Stephen A. Smith said that, why does it matter? What does it matter to him?
You're in an uproar off the Epstein list? That's all you've got? It's really, really surprising that this matters. Of course, I think there's a list, but I don't know. I suspect, but I have no knowledge, nor do I care. It's Friday night. I'm getting ready to go out and enjoy myself. I'm getting ready to have a nice weekend. I can give a damn about the client list, the Epstein client list. This has no effect on me whatsoever. I have a life. I don't understand for the life of me why this matters so much.
I guess Stephen A. Smith doesn't care if there's a cabal of pedophiles who are trafficking children and currently running countries and maybe even running the organizations you work for. I don't know. I thought you talked about basketball. There was this account talking about like, who cares, who gives a shit. And then there was like this post was like, oh, your 10-year-old niece was looking at you like this after you came out of the shower or something. And they're like naked. And he was like, well, I mean, it's your fault for looking or something. It's like, dude, what the fuck? There's a lot of people who are, defending the decision to not actually release any of this. Who Sky, the misfit patriot, says that if you want the Epstein files released, you're a terrorist and a traitor.
Fucking deliver an Epstein list, or you're not gonna win the next election that you can't even run in. What's the threat to Donald Trump? You're not threatening Donald Trump. You're threatening America. You're a fucking terrorist. You're holding this country hostage if you don't get your way. Sound familiar? Because the fucking left just did that for a decade.
That's cool. Back in 2024, people like Gunther Eagleman saying pedophiles are protected class under Joe Biden, and then now saying laws support Trump 1,000%. I do wish the child rapists on the island were held accountable. Charlie Kirk saying, back in 2019, retweet if you believe real Donald Trump should order a full investigation into Epstein's illegal sexual trafficking for the last 30 years and get answers. Flashback to now where he's talking about, actually, I don't want the files coming out, actually, because they told me to stop talking about it or they're going to kill my family.
I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands. I've said plenty this last weekend. So if you guys want to see my commentary on it.
If you're in any government and you're protecting gang rapists and pedophiles, there's a 100% chance that you're a pedophile. And then now, flash forward to now saying, here we go. This account says Trump's a pedo. Imagine believing that this piece of shit troll. Are you seeing it now? And then pro-America politician, pro-trading. Why hasn't Pam Bondi released the Epstein files yet, even earlier this year? And then flash forward to now saying, I don't give a fuck about Jeffrey Epstein anymore. You're all preaching to the choir. A call for Pam Bondi to be fired 4 months ago. Do you know what kind of replies I got? I was told I'm betraying Trump by saying that. Pino was right again. Now saying the MAGA King has spoken. Pam Bondi stays. If you trust her, that's good with me. Just pick one. Just pick one. What the fuck, dude? I don't understand.
Start with Pam Bondi. The Attorney General always takes a lot of flack in any administration, but look at what she has accomplished. The Bondi team successfully litigated away the judicial coup of nationwide injunctions. Attorney General Pam Bondi is a star and has our full admiration and support. Which Trump AG would you replace Pam Bondi with? Barr? Sessions? Rosen? She's the best, and we appreciate her service. And at the FBI, some have suggested that they aren't keen on cash anymore. Look at where we've been at the FBI. It used to be a dumpster.
Would you say this podcast is at least the second time you've met with a 17-year-old?
Well, probably since I've been 17. Look, man,
or 35. Pound it on
no,
that.
that's not my scene. But here's the thing. No one's ever made that allegation against me in a court of law. And you know why?
I didn't make that. I didn't make any. I'm just asking.
March 30th, the New York Times published the jaw-dropping revelation that the Department of Justice had launched an investigation into the congressman, quote, over whether he had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old and whether or not he paid said 17-year-old to travel with him across state lines.
What is cool, though, is that in the investigation, we did discover that Obamnium is a real thing. So that's cool. We can use that to power our cities. Also, make sure to go down to the description to get this exclusive archive merch. No, it's not real. I'm sorry. If you have an Eb-shaped penis, please like and subscribe, follow. I love you guys. If there's any more updates, I'm probably going to cover this because this was something I was heavily invested in back in like fucking middle school and high school. When the fake list of like all the, the Pizzagate thing and all that shit, I was real into that. Unlimited internet access, just led me down a crazy fucking rabbit hole. And now we're looking like towards the end of that, and it's just being blocked by people who want to not, hurt their friends who might possibly be on the list. But that's about it. If you liked the video, subscribe. If you didn't, dislike, leave a comment. Tell me why. If you did like the video, just leave a comment and also tell me why and tell me how much you love me. Because I love you, viewer and subscriber, as long as you like and subscribe. If not, maybe not. I don't know. You'll have to do some convincing. Subscribe if you like cane, sugar, Coke. If not, I don't know. Love you guys. Goodbye.